Please excuse any mispronunciations by TTS. The English TTS has trouble with non-English words. But, if you watch Zentraya, you should be fine. As a result of YouTube's rules pertaining to links in descriptions, I will be adding site details to the video.
List of music genres and styles. This is a list of music genres and styles. Music can be described in terms of many genres and styles. Classifications are often arbitrary, and may be disputed, and closely related forms often overlap. Larger genres and styles comprise more specific subcategories. Classical music has been around for thousands of years, and has influenced every type of music that came after. Any person who claims to like music should know at the very least, Johann Sebastian Bach, Vivaldi, or Rousseau. I won't be including samples of the music in the videos, for copyright reasons. I hope you enjoy the article.
Impressionism in music was a movement among various composers in Western classical music, mainly during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, whose music focuses on mood and atmosphere, conveying the moods and emotions aroused by the subject rather than a detailed tone picture. Impressionism is a philosophical and aesthetic term borrowed from late 19th century French painting after Monet's Impression, Sunrise. Composers were labeled Impressionists by analogy to the Impressionist painters who use starkly contrasting colors, effect of light on an object, blurry foreground and background, flattening perspective, etc. to make the observer focus their attention on the overall impression. The most prominent feature in musical impressionism is the use of color, or in musical terms, timbre, which can be achieved through orchestration, harmonic usage, texture, etc. Other elements of musical impressionism also involve new chord combinations, ambiguous tonality, extended harmonies, use of modes and exotic scales, parallel motion, extra musicality, and evocative titles such as, Reflets Stands Low, Reflections on the Water, Brouillards, Mists, etc. Claude Debussy and Maurice Ravel are two leading figures in Impressionism, though Debussy rejected this label in a 1908 letter he wrote, "Imbeciles call what I am trying to write in images Impressionism, a term employed with the utmost inaccuracy, especially by art critics who use it as a label to stick on Turner, the finest creator of mystery in the whole of art." And Ravel displayed discomfort with it, at one point claiming that it could not be adequately applied to music at all. Debussy's Impressionist works typically evoke a mood, feeling, atmosphere, or scene, by creating musical images through characteristic motifs, harmony, exotic scales, instrumental timbre, large unresolved chords, parallel motion, ambiguous tonality, extreme chromaticism, heavy use of the piano pedals, and other elements. The perception of Debussy's compositional language as decidedly post-romantic, impressionistic, nuanced, understated, and subtle, is firmly solidified among today's musicians and well-informed audiences. Some Impressionist composers, Debussy and Ravel in particular, are also labeled as symbolist composers. One trait shared with both aesthetic trends is a sense of detached observation, rather than expressing deeply felt emotion or telling a story. As in symbolist poetry, the normal syntax is usually disrupted and individual images that carry the work's meaning are evoked. In 1912, the French composer Ernest Finelli received significant attention and coverage in the Parisian press following a performance of a symphonic poem he wrote in 1886, titled Thebes, incorporating elements associated with Impressionism, such as extended chords and whole tone scales. Ravel was unimpressed by Finelli's novelties, maintaining that these were already utilized by past composers such as Franz Liszt. He also opined that Finelli's Impressionism stemmed from Hector Berlioz rather than Liszt or Russian composers. Other composers linked to Impressionism include Lily Boulanger, Isaac Albeniz, Frederick Delius, Paul Dukas, Alexander Scriabin, Manuel de Falla, John Alden Carpenter, Ottorino Respighi, Albert Roussel, Karol Szymanowski, Charles Tomlinson Griffes, and Federico Mompo. The Finnish composer Jean Sibelius is also associated with Impressionism, and his tone poem The Swan of Tuonela predates Debussy's Prelude à l'après-midi d'un faun, regarded as a seminal work of musical impressionism, by a year. The American composer Howard Hanson also borrowed from both Sibelius and Impressionism generally in works such as his Second Symphony. One of the most important tools of musical Impressionism was the tensionless harmony. The dissonance of chords was not resolved, but was used as timbre. These chords were often shifted parallel. In the melodic field the whole tone scale, the pentatonic, and church tonal turns were used. The melodics were characterized by their circular melodic movements. The timbre became the stylistic device of Impressionism instead of concise themes or other traditional forms.